Extract from Loughborough Boy. But back to 1977 and Stacey. A few weeks have gone by, and I've gone to the Artichoke every weekend since, and she's been there most Fridays and Saturdays. I still ain't even talked to her hardly yet, and she's actually gone home with Marky one night. Well, left the pub with him anyway. So what looked so promising has almost fizzled out, but thoughts of her still echo around my mind for days after. But I don't let on to anyone about it, of course. That's not my way. I don't really have any idea about relationships, see, except what I've read in newspapers and seen in films and that. So all this is a mystery to me. I guess I've got it into my head that she's not really interested now, even though her eyes tell me a different story. But then, the week after she went home with Marky, the guys prompted him into telling us what he got up to with her, but he kind of fields the questions, and lets it be known that she's not really his type, which I can't help liking him for. Finally, the week after this, she does something that, if I had any nous, I would straight away see as an opening gambit. But like I said, with girls I'm a bit slow. So what she does is, she walks past me and manages to knock into me, spilling half my glass of beer over me knee strides. Oh, fucking hell. But next thing I know is, we're talking. She don't apologise though, that ain't her way, see. And what she does is, she says, "You want to be more careful." But she says it with a big toothy grin and a twinkle in her eye. So the next thing I know is we're rabbing it away. About nothing really, and to tell the truth it's a bit of hard work. Talking bollocks with a bird, that is. But something stronger than my embarrassment kicked in and helps me over this tricky terrain. We settle into a steady flow of bollocks, blah blah blah, and the guys are looking over at me and giving me nods and winks and all that kind of shit behind her back. I'm sweating like a pig and blushing and trying to ignore them. At least it's dark. But underneath, there's some part of me that's thrilling, finding the whole thing exciting. If I just wouldn't blush so much. So we stay together all evening. My mind is knackered by the end of the night. I'm all talked out. The pub is empty and I haven't even asked her if I can walk her home yet. "Where you got to get to?" I eventually get round to asking. It's kind of like life's a roundabout that's spinning round just a little bit too fast for me, and I'm always having difficulty with getting my timing right to jump on it or off it. "I'm staying just around the corner at my nan's," she says. At this point, the DJ comes over. I've seen him a few times before. I recognise him. It's Mr. Smooth, Mr. Charm. Not the type of guy I'll get on with at all. "This is my cousin Johnny," she says. Straight away, my impression of him undergoes a modification. It's amazing how transformative fancying a bird can beat your lifestyle choices. All of a sudden, I can see he's not such a bad sort after all. At least he ain't moany or snidey looking. "Aye, all right, him?" And he comes on much too strong for me, really matey and friendly. I can't stand shit like that straight off. It takes me a long time to get familiar with someone, and he's breaking all my codes. But Stacey is one fucking super attractive bird. Maybe it's just me that needs to change. Anyway, he asked Stacey in a really nice and caring way. That ain't common round my neck of the woods, I can tell ya. He says, "He taking you home?" She looked at me. Park Lady excerpt. Then I enter the park. But it's strange, no people. What's going on? Where are they? Why have they chosen not to do it again today? Perhaps they're all hiding somewhere. People sometimes do things like that. They think it's funny. I listen carefully. If they are hiding, they're making an exceptionally good job of it. I then realise that, for some unfathomable reason, no one else is going to come along. But the swings and the slide and the sandpit are there, and they beckon me on. All is not lost. I make my way into the playground. As I enter, I have a vague presentiment of foreboding. But I'm a confident young chap and shrug it off. For a second I feel strange presences, like ghosts or phantoms seated around mocking me. I lose a bit of confidence again. I see the little hut where the park keeper stays, which is just inside the gate. I find myself right outside it when a plump, small woman steps out of the hut. She's not much taller than me, really. "Hello," she says in a gruff voice. "What are you doing here?" I freeze. I look to the swings and the slide, and then back to the woman. A sense of doubt creeps insidiously into my mind. This is not going as smoothly as I'd anticipated. "I've come to go on the swings," I bluff. "Oh, you're too young to be here on your own," she says. "No, I'm not," I reply pertly. "I was here yesterday." But as I say this, my voice seems to falter. It sounds different, and it seems to come from someone else. This disconcerts me even further. "You better come here," she says, and motions for me to go into the little cabin. Now, if there's one thing I'm sure of right at this moment, it's that right now, the last place in the world I want to go is into that little cabin. All the fairy tales and all the witch stories I've ever heard seem to come flooding into my mind, and the woman seems to take on a menacing dimension, and the whole situation seems to be taking on a quite sinister complexion. "No," I say. "I'll just go on the swings, thank you," and attempt to bluff my way through things. Looking back, the obvious thing to have done would have been to run away. But I didn't, see, because like I said before, I'm never quite sure, myself, what it is that I'm going to do. Which does, it must be said, make for an exciting if somewhat trouble-plagued existence. But it also gets me into quite a few serious jams, like now. But anyway, she isn't having any of this. "Oh no, you don't," she says, grabbing hold of me and pulling me towards the cabin by my elbow.